Every morning before the sun appeared, an old man named Hassan walked quietly to the river. He looked at the flowing water for a few moments, bent down, picked up a handful of sand, and slowly let it fall through his fingers. Then he smiled, turned around, and walked back home without saying a single word. He repeated this every morning for years. Nobody in the village knew why. Some people laughed at him, while others believed he had become strange with age. But one young man could never stop thinking about it. His name was Kabir. He watched Hassan almost every morning, wondering why the old man did the same thing every single day. The mystery stayed in his mind, but he never found the courage to ask. Instead, he continued living the same way he always had. Kabir was kind, honest, and full of dreams. He wanted to build a better life, help his parents, and become someone people respected. But dreaming was easy. Taking action was much harder. Whenever he had a chance to learn something new, he told himself, "I'll start tomorrow." When his father asked him to learn a useful skill, Kabir smiled and replied, "There is still plenty of time." While his friends spent their evenings reading, practicing, and helping their families, Kabir chose comfort instead. One day became another. Weeks became months, and without realizing it, years quietly passed while his dreams remained exactly where they had always been, inside his imagination. Then one morning, something happened that Kabir could not ignore. A local shop owner came to the village looking for a young helper. The job was simple, but it offered good pay and a chance to learn valuable skills. Kabir had wanted an opportunity like this for a long time. He planned to visit the shop the next day. But the next morning he woke up late. When he finally arrived, the owner looked at him with a kind smile and said, "I'm sorry, Kabir. Someone came yesterday. The job has already been taken." Kabir stood there without saying a word. It was not the first opportunity he had lost because of waiting, but this time it hurt much more. As he slowly walked home, his feet carried him to the same river where Hassan stood every morning. Just as always, Hassan picked up a handful of sand and let it slip through his fingers. This time, Kabir walked closer. "Why do you do that every day?" he finally asked. Hassan looked at him with a gentle smile but did not answer. Instead, he said, "Walk with me." The two of them walked quietly beside the river. After a long silence, Hassan asked, "Kabir, what kind of life do you really want?" Kabir answered without thinking, "I want to become successful. I want to help my parents. I want people to respect me, and I want to build a better future." Hassan nodded, then asked another question. "And what did you do yesterday that brought you closer to that future?" Kabir searched for an answer. He thought about yesterday, then the day before, then the week before. Slowly, he lowered his head. "I don't know," he whispered. Hassan smiled kindly. He bent down, picked up another handful of sand, and slowly opened his hand. Tiny grains slipped away until nothing was left. "Can you stop the sand from falling?" Hassan asked. Kabir shook his head. "No." Hassan looked at his empty hand and said softly, "Time is exactly the same. Every day, little by little, it slips away. You cannot keep it. You cannot buy more of it. You can only decide how you will use it before it disappears." For the first time, Kabir did not just hear those words, he truly felt them. But Hassan was not finished. As they reached his small house, he opened the door, smiled, and said, "Come inside, Kabir. There is one more lesson you need to understand." Kabir stepped inside, not knowing that what he was about to see would completely change the way he looked at every single day of his life. Hassan walked to a small wooden table in the corner of the room. On the table were 3 apples. One was fresh and bright. The second had a few dark spots. The third was old and rotten. Kabir looked at them, confused. Hassan picked up the fresh apple and placed it in Kabir's hand. "This is your future," he said. "It is full of hope. It can become something wonderful." Then he pointed to the second apple. "This is today. It is not perfect, but it still has value. What you do today decides what your future will become." Finally, he lifted the rotten apple. "This is yesterday. It is already gone. No matter how much you wish to change it, you cannot make it fresh again." Kabir stared at the 3 apples in silence. Suddenly the lesson became clear. He had spent years thinking about tomorrow while doing almost nothing today. That evening he returned home and sat alone in his room. He thought about the opportunities he had missed, the hours he had wasted, and the dreams that never moved forward. Then he took a piece of paper and wrote down how he spent his time each day. When he finished, he felt shocked. He had not lost money. He had not lost his dreams. He had lost something much more valuable, his time. That night Kabir made a decision. No more excuses. No more waiting. "I will start today." The first few weeks were not easy. His old habits kept returning. Some mornings he wanted to sleep longer. Some days he wanted to do nothing. But every time he felt like giving up, he remembered the sand slipping through Hassan's fingers. Slowly his life began to change. He woke up earlier. He learned useful skills. He read books. He helped his parents. Instead of complaining, he worked a little harder every day. His progress was slow, but it never stopped. Months became years. The small actions he repeated every day slowly built a different future. The skills he learned helped him earn money. His discipline made him stronger. Good habits opened new doors, and people in the village began to notice the change. One day an old friend asked him, "Kabir, everyone says you are successful now. What is your secret?" Kabir smiled and replied, "There is no secret. I simply stopped wasting my time." Years later Kabir had become one of the most respected people in the village. He built a successful business, cared for his parents, and helped many people around him. But he never forgot the mystery that had changed his life. One morning, before sunrise, a young boy saw Kabir standing beside the river. Kabir bent down, picked up a handful of sand, and slowly let it fall through his fingers. The boy watched with curiosity and asked, "Why do you do that every morning?" Kabir smiled because he heard the same question he had once asked Hassan. He looked at the falling sand and said softly, "Because every grain reminds me that time is leaving, whether we use it wisely or not." The boy stayed quiet, watching the last grains disappear into the riverbank. Kabir placed a gentle hand on his shoulder and said, "Remember this. You can earn money again. You can recover from failure. New opportunities can come. But once time is gone, it never returns." That is why the perfect moment is not something you wait for. It is something you create when you take your first step. The sun began to rise over the river, filling the water with golden light. Kabir smiled and continued, "Your future is not waiting somewhere far away. You are building it right now, one choice, 1 hour, and 1 day at a time. Because your time is your life."